Hey, this is my recap for The Ultimate Fighter 8, Episode 12, last episode of the season. It's been fun. Let's get into it. We're going to talk. First, they have some fighters talking. Kristof talks about knocking Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys down belt colors with strikes. It's a real good line. It was really good line. Really well delivered. And that just kind of brings us right into our first fight, which is Krzysztof versus Vinny. Round 1. Both fighters with very open stances. I want to say this because, I mean, their arms are like all over the place, you know, like here and here. I mean, none of this. There's none of this. It's all open and loosey-goosey where you think they're just going to go way back and go for these crazy uppercuts and haymakers and crap like that. So, yeah. I'd expect that. I don't know. I just thought Krzysztof would take more of a technical stance against Vinny. Anyway, Vinny gets a flying guard, but Kristof finally escapes. Looks scary there for a while. He was working for a triangle for a long time, trying to get the foot under, or maybe a go-go, but working for something there around the neck. So, good for Kristof to escape. Mir's in Vinny's corner. I thought that was interesting. I thought I'd note it because it was a question mark going into this fight who he would corner. UFC never really addressed it, or the Ultimate Fighter never really addressed it with showing, you know, him flipping a corner or anything about choosing a corner. But yeah, he's in Vinny's corner because that's who I hear him, you know, trying to guide through the fight. More open striking. By that I mean, you know, loosey-goosey. Chris working kicks well. Did some good leg kicks, you know, kind of Keith Jardine type stuff where he's, you know, working the legs, lower parts of the legs. Vinny pulls guard again against the fence. This must be his big move because this is pretty much what he's using to take people down. And, you know, anyone that's going to fight him should take note of this because he just loves to pull guard when he's against that cage. And he does it well. Does it well. Flying guard, whatever you want to call it. And he works this time a little better. I don't know what he does different than he did last time, but he gets an arm. And he gets an arm bar. So, there we go. Vinny wins by armbar. And we got our first finals fight decided. It'll be Vinny versus Bader. When the full cards are released, I don't know, it'll probably be maybe later tonight, or I'll release my predictions for that whole card, the Ultimate Fighter 8 finale, sometime early next week. Alright, now we get into some drama. Well, I couldn't go a few episodes without having it, could we? Really? For all these people in the house? No. Junie feels like he has gotten worse in the house and his timing is off. Since training there, he's gotten worse, he feels. You know, since training with world-class athletes has gotten worse than being in his hometown. You know, usually you see people go on the show and realize how much important it is to train with the best, like the people on this show, and leave their small-time camps. But he's saying he felt better in a small-time camp and thought he was fighting better there. So, but what I think was happening is he's just hitting more limitations here because they're better fighters at this level. I think that's what's happening, and he's just comparing it to the people he was beating back home who were inferior to these fighters, better fighters. So anyway, Junie tells Mir he doesn't want to fight. And that, you know, Mir's kind of hands off about it. He really doesn't want to buy into any of the drama and be, you know, led down that path again. So, you know, he's already getting Shane ready to replace Junie at this point. Then we go back to the house. I don't know why Shane Prim is out there talking with the other team, but Junie's out there. And I guess the other guys are at practice. I don't know. Shane may have taken a few days off or whatever. And I know people that are already eliminated like to, you know, take some time off sometimes if they don't have to go train. Although, I think they should. I think they should take full advantage of what they got. But whatever. Junie says Vinny will beat Bader. Junie was talking about how he thinks the lightweights will do better than light heavyweights when it comes to making an impact in the UFC. And Shane Prim's like, well, I'm from the show me state. I mean, it's just a stupid little kind of corny thing to say, but I mean, it's not the thing that invokes rage. But Junie, it does. And Junie charges with throwing a glass. Nothing we haven't seen before. Then I think he strikes him a few times. I can't tell. They pull him off real fast, you know. Shane was just kind of sitting down, lounging in the chair. So he didn't look like he got hurt, per se. I don't know. They didn't really show much of him afterwards. Then we got the housemates speculating if Junie will be kicked out this time. Dana comes in. Yeah, he always looks kind of semi-pissed when he comes into the house when he doesn't need to come into the house. Like, you know, like he's going to actually do stuff. But here, he sits down with Junie. He asks Junie if he's retarded. Let's see, I got it all here. Retarded, bipolar, or scared. Scared of a failure. And I don't know what he is. But Junie goes into this, you know, I know people that do this. They go into this pitiful mode, like, oh, I'm so sorry, it's my fault. I'm sorry, Dana, I'm sorry. And people do that. It's almost like it makes me know they're more aware of the actions they take when they get into trouble. And it's all about whoever has highest rank they're going to be able to bow down to and get under and, you know, be able to stay, you know, work their magic. I know people at work will do that, you know. Your coworker who's on a level playing field with you, will try to get away with stuff. But once the boss steps in, they change their stance. And that shows you they ultimately know what they're doing at all times and they're aware. So I don't think he's bipolar. He may be scared of failure. Retarded sounds pretty good. Anyway, Dana says he's a really good reality star. Reality stars are idiots. Good quote there from Dana. Dana talks to the other fighters about Junie's fate. Dana going in thinks they'll want him to stay so they could see someone kick his ass. I don't know. That's kind of a weird logic. It seems like if, you know, someone was causing anyone else harm, they'd want that person out no matter, you know, what could happen in the, you know, in the game of the show where, you know, he could lose badly. I'd rather have that person out. But Dana seems to think they want to see this more than, you know, getting them out of the house as soon as possible to secure the safety of other fighters. Okay. Dana says Junie wants to be kicked off, and he talks the guys into keeping him around and does the beat him off line, which was teased earlier in the season. So we finally get the beat him off line, which is quite hilarious, and I'm sure it'll be up on YouTube quite soon anyway, so yeah, look for that. Junie says he's done fighting if he can't beat Efrain, and he's still in the house. He's going to stay, he's going to fight Efrain, and that's where we're going. Efrain versus Junie, round 1. Junie taunts to start. He grabs his ankle at one point, kind of stretching and stuff. I don't know why Efrain hesitated to charge him right there. I would have, but you never know. You never know. Maybe, you know, he thought it was a trap or something, but Junie pretty nonchalant here. Junie picking his shots, but F gets a takedown. Later, Junie goes for a takedown, but F voids it against the cage. Junie works his kicks well, but gets bopped in the face. At one point, seemed like Efrain blocked the kick and then was able to get a nice clean shot right in the face. Kind of woke up Junie. More taunting from Junie to close fight. And that's a draw. I would say that's a draw. First round was a draw. Round 2, Junie tries a spinning back fist that misses awfully. Goes for a takedown that Efrain sprawls out of. Efrain gets a takedown, and after long time of working on top, breaks Junie's spirit and gets the arc choke. In the process, Junie was pretty much turtled up, and Efrain got in there and choked him out. Really strong finish for Efrain. Dana feels justified in choice to keep Junie on the show so he can lose. You can tell that Dana was really happy that it worked out for him, that he was right, that Junie would lose, and he did lose, and it made him look like he knew what he was doing all along. As reverse of that would be if he said all that, and Junie went on to win, and everyone thought, well, I could be an asshole and progress on the show effectively and build a character for myself. Junie has a pity party outside the lawn. He goes out, whines, my last fight, maybe I'll flip burgers in the future. A lot of drama, a lot of crap, blah, blah, blah. Now I cut Samir's hair. Fights for the finales will be Efrain versus Nova and Bader versus Vinny. And I'm looking forward to those. And I think those are going to be some hard fights to pick, I'm going to tell you. But I'll be doing it earlier in the week. So yeah, good season. Have fun recapping. Hopefully I can recap the next season. Cody out. That sounds stupid. Cody, bye-bye.